Welcome back to Gatecrashers. This week, we are actually doing a revisit interview. The last time I got to speak to these two gentlemen was right before the beginning of G.I. Joe, the main book. We spoke about all the spin-offs, everything that has been leading up to it, but now we are 15 issues into the mainline book, and I am once again joined by Joshua Williamson and Tom Reilly. How are you?
Good.
Doing good.
Just busy working. Tom, you good?
I'm doing all right.
You're just in the middle of drawing right now. I know you're drawing, so it's fun. Yeah.
It's always fun when people are on the thing drawing because you're like, oh, that's sick. So I usually ask about your favorite sandwich, but you both answered that question.
Sure. Yeah.
What was my answer?
That's a good question. Do you have a new favorite one? Have you been into anything new recently?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have a new favorite one. It was probably the Italian beef. It had to be that had to be that answer.
The Italian beef. Yeah.
Had to have been.
Now, we also talked about the toys a lot last time. Now, your run and your art has been phenomenal. Now, my question to you, right now, you could put your hand into the book and pull out one thing that you have created for this to be a figure on your shelf. What are you taking?
Probably one of the most recent DREADNOK WAR designs.
Yeah,
dude. A crazy Cobra Commander.
Oh, I think the Cobra Commander, like Dreadnought, if we could get like a DREADNOK WAR 2-pack, it was like Duke and Cobra Commander on that cover where they're all.
That'd be awesome.
You know,
he's got the bazooka.
Yeah. Are you caught up, Dan?
Yes.
Up, like through 16?
I don't have 16 yet. I only have 15. If you've got 16, I'd love to read it. But
I think Shannon could probably coordinate to get my hooky over. 17 comes out next week, so I mean,
probably have it somewhere. As we talked about last time, I wasn't a G.I. Joe person until this book. I have been a huge G.I. Joe person since. I've rewatched all the movies. I've read this book really closely, but the reason I love this book so much is because it does star my favorite queens, divas, the bitchiest, gossipiest, cattiest people in comics, Destro and Cobra Commander. Their dynamic has shifted quite a lot in this book. What has it been like writing them and getting to give them a little bit of different looks throughout the series?
Writing them wise, I mean, they're just these two people who are always waiting for an opportunity to stab each other in the back, but they also need each other, which that will continue. I don't want to get too deep into spoilers and stuff, but you'll see how this story ends and then how that builds out and everything. But it's like, I really like writing them together. I mean, it's funny because it's like every word they say is a lie, essentially, right? I mean, that's really how they both operate, is that like every time they're talking to each other, it's like and this is the thing going as far back as Cobra Commander, like the miniseries, was thinking a lot about how hard it was to write people who are manipulative, right? Like it can be difficult because they're always lying. They're always doing something or saying something that is, there's another motive behind it, right? Like there's just, it literally has a bite to it. So it's really fun getting to write them because it's like every time they're in the room together, they're just saying something that's either passive aggressive or they're trying to manipulate each other. And that's why early on it was like, I think it was after the last arc where they were just kind of like, they both kind of said like, we know what we're doing here. Like you're trying to manipulate me, I'm trying to manipulate you, but like, let's just get the job done. Like, let's get what we want. And then you see how that kind of, we hit like another level of that, obviously, with what's happened now where Destro has been like, oh, here's my shot. I think we can kill Cobra Commander. But not even me. I don't even do it. I'm not even responsible for it in any way, shape, or form. It's like he manipulated Ripper into being like, oh yeah, I could. This is an opportunity for me to do it. So it's been. I just like writing them how they are constantly just lying to each other and trying to mess with each other, and you'll see it'll continue to build.
Yeah, and I like drawing them as two very big personalities, kind of clashing. Kind of how Josh writes them. They're kind of flamboyant. They're loud, and there's some vanity involved in how they kind of carry themselves. So I'd like to kind of draw them. Maybe
they're both.
I assume they'd want to look good. I assume they'd want to look good and look cool and have multiple different sweet outfits. Like
Yeah, it's two people who have like huge egos just clashing with each other, and they both want to be the biggest personality in the room, you know. So it's like you get those characters in a room together, and they will. I mean, I always like that when you watch like a theater play or you know watch a really good movie, and you get two actors who are like they want to be the loudest, they want to show each other up. You know, it's like this is a really weird reference to Bing Up. But, you know, it's like when you're watching Star Trek 6, you know, and it was like Christopher Plummer and William Shatner, who had actually had known each other in their theater days when they were young and they were competitive then. And now they're in Star Trek 6 and they're at this dinner scene where one is a Klingon, one is a starship captain. But it's like that antagonism was there because it was in real life. They really had like a little bit of a thing. And so when you watch that dinner scene in Star Trek 6 and you're like, I mean, they were friendly, but they were competitive with each other since they were young. So it's like you put them both in the scene with this amazing dialogue and they're just like, there's nobody else needs to be in this room with the two of us. You could fill it with people, but at the end of the day, if you put them on a stage together, which is the two of them, you would tell the same story. And that's how I kind of think about with Cobra Commander and Destro is you have these two people who have this antagonism and they have these big personalities, and you can do a lot with just the two of them in a room together, which is why we often show them just in a room together, kind of, you know, being, you know, snake venom at each other, you know, like spitting at each other basically. So I like them. But yeah, Tom, I mean, you keep on doing cool shit with them. Like in the, I don't want to ruin things for Dan. I forget where Dan is at, but when,
it's okay.
Yeah, when Hawk shot Destro in the face, you know,
oh yeah,
he didn't die though, Dan, so it's okay.
Yeah, as long as you don't kill Cobra Commander, I'll be okay.
I had to do some research. I had to make sure
that.
that he wouldn't die if he got shot in the face.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation with that, but it's a cool scene where Hawk pulls a gun out, or he steals a gun, right? Does he steal a gun from the Cobra officers? Yeah, it's a really cool beat. Yeah, you'll see, Dan, when you read 16 and 17, you're going to be for a real. You're in for a treat. There's a part in. I also like writing Destro I like writing Duke and Cobra Commander together. You know, like they're all their little things. So you read 15. The way that I kind of like doing, I'm going to tell you a trick, I guess. The way that we've been doing GI Joe, because we do mostly 5-issue arcs. The middle issue is always the calm one. It's always the one where people chill out for a moment. It's like I can have 2 issues of like a lot. Like I kind of structured things where it's like the first issue is always set up with action, and the second issue is always like heavy action, and the third issue is when we always slow things down before we wrap it back up again. Because I love getting back to that. I like characters when they just have a moment where they calm down for a second and just talk to each other, and that's what that is. Where it's like Dust or it's Duke and Cobra Commander both chained up in Road Pig's attic, and they just have a moment, just a moment to talk. It's like it gives you, I don't know, it allows it to be about them as characters.
I will say that scene is previously my favorite scene in this universe was the Duke prison scene, but the scene where they're hanging and just talking to each other is like, it's not even just that it's like really superbly written. It's how they're just hanging there. The shading that everyone like, it's such a beautiful 2-page. It's so,
I think it's superbly written.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. This is my favorite thing we've done for Energon is DREADNOK WAR. Like all the stuff that I've been a part of and worked on has been this, because it's just like, I don't know, it just hits really well. Like all the pieces just kind of came together with this one. And like, yeah, when you see 17, I mean, 17 is dope. Like 17, so much cool shit. I don't know, Tom, how you fit as much into 17 as you did, because it's like, it feels like it's only 20 pages, but it feels like it's 30. You put so much into it, dude.
I'm so
That's
excited.
good.
Yeah.
The DREADNOK War is just, it's so cool because coming from no background, the Dreadnoughts are all new to me, and when that page came with
awesome.
Road Pig, my jaw dropped and I was like, oh, I have a new favorite character. This dude fucking rocks.
He's rad. He's fun to write because it's like a little bit of gibberish, you know?
Yeah.
It's a little bit non sequitur at times, you know, or he just says like, what'll happen with him sometimes is I write him once, and then I do another pass on him. I mean, you do a few passes realistically, but I always do like what is the how can I make this a little more random? Does that make sense? Like he has to say a couple things more random. Like in issue 17, I think he yells, "Get off my lawn," or I think that's in 16.
16,
you know,
yeah.
It's 16, you know, it's like things like that. Whereas originally it was like, "Get out of here, back off." But it was like, no, he would say, "Get off my lawn." Like, because technically it is his lawn. It is his house out there. So, you know, it was like things like that with him have been really fun to do. And And then Tom did a killer design on him.
So good.
So, yeah.
The I don't know too much of his background, but is there any particular reason his hammer is called Mom?
I made that up.
That's beautiful. It's so weird, but it's awesome.
But that's it though. Originally I thought I had him call it something else, and then I was like, no, this all ties together, because we were also doing like a weird Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, he's got like a slasher vibe.
Yeah, so I was like, no, you gotta hit all the weird stuff.
Yeah.
And like meet Mom. Like
It works.
I don't know. It all worked together.
It rocks.
Came together. Yeah. So it's like I like one of the things I like that we do in this book, and you'll see more of as we continue, is we do try to look at like different genres as we're applying it. And so when I'm working on it, I am thinking about that, and it was like it was funny to go from like, oh no, we're doing hardcore like Mad Max stuff. Like first it's like military drama, then it's Mad Max, and then we're like, no, here's The Hills Have Eyes. Like to kind of, but it feels like a logical next step, right? Like it doesn't feel random. It flows, and then it was like, oh no, if he's one of these, if he's basically sort of a Leatherface sort of character, very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, I think I even said that in the script to you, Tom, where I was like, oh, it's like, I think I showed you screen grabs where it's like, oh, it's like when she's walking into the house and you see behind, it's like, do that with Cobra Commander. Like he's walking toward this house and it's all like, it's very horror. Like, what are you doing, Cobra Commander? What are you doing? Don't go in the house. But he doesn't, he's like, I'm the scary thing. So why would I?
Well, I had fun building up the house.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different like little story elements you can put together in the house. I think his attic is like full of skeletons.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the town. I assume maybe he rolled in and he killed everyone out in the town.
That's why like Tom always adds all these. It's funny. Like I'll write the script and then Tom will always Tom just elevates it every time. But he also is like, oh, you want this to be 7 panels? How about 10?
Sometimes
and I'm like, that's not you, buddy.
There.
I love more panels. More panels, the better on a page. I love pages that have a lot of panels on them. It feels like you're actually reading a comic. It's like it's comic book magic.
He also lets me take panels away though, so it's
you'll combine stuff there. You'll combine a few things, but it always makes sense, and it always looks awesome. But these issues are. I'm really proud of DREADNOK WAR. I think it's probably my favorite thing we've done on.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's so much fun. And Tom, I don't have a huge art vernacular, so I'm curious how you would describe it. But there is a element of your art that. It's between you and Jordy's coloring is like there's almost an after effect on some of the characters where like they're walking and the color's a little bit behind them. It's incredible. It makes your book stand out amongst everything else. How would you describe the style you're going for with this arc? Like, what is your inspirations? Like, your words?
What you're talking about is all Jordy. That's all her idea. She's got whatever great ideas that she has. I usually just let her run with. I don't have any input on colors when I work with Jordy. I just kind of stick my hands up and let her do whatever she wants, and she wins awards for it at the end of the day. So that's
she's really good at it.
Proven to be a good strategy.
You guys see 17. I think 17 is the best looking issue. Like, and she really went in there on a couple of those pages and like she just added, I don't know, there's a certain flair to 17 that I think will surprise people.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'll have to ask for it. Now we've got the two main groups. We got Cobra and G.I. Joe, and the Dreadnoughts, as we've been talking about quite a lot, are this kind of third faction that aren't as big. They don't have they're kind of rough. What would you describe their philosophy as like a unit? What do they believe in?
They're about the money. I mean, they just want money. I mean, that's it. And you'll see this play up. They ultimately, everything for them is all like, it is primal. Everything is primal, right? So they want a party. They want money. They want all these very superficial, like surface level type stuff for them. The stuff with the Dreadnoks obviously doesn't end with DREADNOK WAR because we've talked about this, where it's like part of the idea is like building out these different factions and how everything kind of connects and stuff. And so by the time we get to the IS, you'll see how much this connects back to the Cobra Commander series in ways that you might not expect, and like the stuff that we're working on, you'll see how it builds out. But I see them as very primal. Like it's very primal needs, So that's why even with something like Revenge, like it's a very primal needs. It's We want a party. We want money. We want revenge. Everything is very like primal needs is how I kind of describe them. But there's other elements to them as we will build out. You'll see there's other pieces of the puzzle that aren't like fully exposed yet. I guess is the best way to put it. But you'll see it all starts to come together. But yeah, we talk a lot about making sure that everyone has not repetitive motives, and kind of themes and stuff like that. Like, what does Duke want? What does Hound want? What does Cobra Commander want? What does Destro want? Everyone kind of wants something different. And that's why even that scene where it's like, even Duke's primal, like he wants revenge, he wants control, he wants order, he wants answers, which is usually what Duke has been from the beginning. Like, I want answers. I want to understand why my worldview was completely destroyed in front of me, right? Like, that's really what Duke is after this whole time. Even in this arc, he's like, I just want answers. Like, that everything for him is like, I want to understand what happened and why it's happening. And then you have something like Cobra Commander, who's just like, I don't like being flesh, being mortal. I don't want to be mortal. I want to be immortal, and I want to be this other thing. And there's that. And then you'll see, like, as we go, that's been important to us, like making sure everyone doesn't have like duplicate motivation stuff. And so you'll see, again, like once you read 17, I think you get into some of the stuff, even the stuff, Tom, you can't say what you're drawing right now, but what you're drawing right now. Tom is drawing a scene right now that is all about motivation for a character, I think. Are you drawing a cover right now, or are you drawing the thing?
Who's to say?
Okay. Yeah. He might be drawing the thing, but it's all about establishing these motives and how they're different for everybody and how that just drives their character to make the decisions they make.
With the motivation thing, the beginning of this arc shows Duke visiting the grave of one of his former
his friend,
Frost, Tyler Frost, that was killed by Starscream, which like is very traumatic for him. Like, as a reader, you're like, that's Starscream, that's wild. But like, it's been really interesting to see how his trauma informs his character. Is this something you're going to keep working through in the series, or like eventually he's got to meet that guy?
Yeah, I mean, you'll see. This is already out there. We announced it right after New York Comic Con, where he'll meet Optimus Prime soon, Duke will. So it's like him meeting Optimus Prime in 20 will definitely, it's going to continue to build with him. Like this thing with him, it's like he's getting more information, but it's still not going to change the fact that he doesn't, he still wants revenge as well, but he still wants, it's ultimately about understanding everything. And even when he meets Optimus Prime, he's not going to get everything. I mean, if you read Transformers, he's not going to get everything he wants. But, we're barely, we're still in, I would say, the first chapter of the Underground universe. Like, I feel like we're still in the first chapter. Like, we haven't got to the next chapter yet. So there's still a lot of story we have planned. We have stuff planned out. I mean, when I saw Tom last in New York Comic Con, I laid out for him like a year's worth of stuff of like, here's where things are going. Here's where this is. Here's what happens next. Here's what's going over here. So, there's a lot.
Really glad to hear that part too.
Yeah.
With you mentioned Optimus Prime, you're dealing with the Energon universe as a whole. So you're all kind of not even just like, you don't have your own silos. Like, characters show up in different things from these toy lines that they were huge. There's so many possibilities of bringing in different things. How do you work with different books on your Energon universe teams to like be like, hey, I'm taking this. So like, for example, you have Hound, like that's in G.I. Joe. How do you be like to the Transformers team, like, hey, we're taking this one?
I mean, when I talk to Robert, we have fairly regular Zooms. I would say every 2 months, I think. And then Robert and I talk. But I mean, the big thing is we always end up meeting each other usually at one of the conventions, either San Diego or New York. And like I said, Tom was there at the last one, and we just sort of go, here's it, and then it's kind of like, so in Cobra Commander, I think I was writing, it hadn't come out yet. God, this feels like it was so long ago, but I was working on Cobra Commander. It hadn't started coming out yet. And then Robert, this might have been 2 or 3 years ago now, I remember, it was over Christmas break. And Robert wrote me an email and he was like, hey, can you set it up so I can have Pythona? And I was like, yes, that's easy. Like issue 5 for Commander, we had talked about this, and we had talked about something like this where it was like, where Gobulus is like, I want to understand more about what's happening. And he knows about, Cybertron. He's going to send somebody out into space, right? So it was like, it makes sense for it to be Pythona, and then he could pick it up. And we talked through it. So almost it was as simple as that. It was like, I have an idea for this thing. Can we use this? And when we started talking, we always knew it was going to be Hound. Like, we knew really early on it was going to be Hound. Hound, we had actually talked about Hound being in the book much earlier, actually. We had talked about Hound potentially being in the first issue. And so we just knew it was never going to be anybody else. It was like always going to be Hound just because he looks like a military vehicle. Like if there's any character that's going to be undercover with the Joes, it's always going to be Hound. Like there was no question it was going to be Hound. So with that, it was just like, hey, I'm going to use Hound. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. All right, moving forward, you know, and talking to Daniel and being like, here's what's going on. This is back when Daniel was doing it and being like, this is what I'm going to do. And he's like, okay, cool. Here's what I want. He's like, well, can I have Doc? And it was like, yes, you can have Doc. All right, cool. This all ties together. So, and now at this point, we pretty have a good framework of what's going where, you know? And so it's like, there are characters from G.I. Joe that might move in some directions. You'll see, you know, like we'll continue to kind of trade with each other. We try to make it excessive because we still want to make sure you're telling your own story, you know? So it's like, you know, you'll see as things keep going, especially this year, you'll see a little bit of trading, a little bit of building, but just we don't want to overdo it. You know, so yeah, you'll see it as we keep going, but mostly it's just us just talking to. It's really that simple. Just get on to Zoom, being like, I'm thinking about this. What are you thinking about? I'm thinking about this. Okay, cool. And then we write up documents, we share them, and you go from there. Like
it's nice.
Everybody gets along. There's no weirdness. So it's
like siblings sharing action figures. Like, well, I'm going to be playing with this one today.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. Yeah. That's really fun. Yeah.
Tom, with your designs on all of these different characters, are we going to be, is any of the collections ever going to kind of combine all of your back matter, like your notes, your design work for the characters? I'm curious. I just want to see more of like how you got to all these different places.
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Yeah. Well, when Skybound always does awesome collected editions, and I think for Duke, I had some of my design work in there and some of my thought processes for those designs. And I assume the G.I. Joe collection's going to have all that too, because I've got all the high quality images sent in to.
Sick.
I mean, I think you can tell them. I mean, we're putting together in the.
Oh, I can talk about it.
You can talk about it. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so well then I have to
work on it this week, so I'm going to talk about it because I have to work on it.
So then I've put all that design stuff in the back matter for the collected edition.
It'll be in the hardcover. So when the hardcover out, I think it's the hardcover that collects the first two trades. I think that's already been like solicited, or you can see it online. So I'm not like for you, but it's the one that collects the first. It's the one that collects the first 12 issues worth. Yeah, it collects the first 12 plus some Energon special stuff, I think. In the back of that, there's probably like, God, I'm looking at it right now. There's, what do you got here, dude? 18 pages of just like Tom's art. That is just
back matter and
Tom
layouts. Andrea's stuff is in there too.
Andrea's stuff's in here too. Yeah, so it's and Tom wrote a lot. Thankfully,
probably too much. I probably wrote.
No,
too
we're gonna
much,
use all of it.
All right.
And then that's something I have to do. I have to do in the next week, is I have to also go through all these pages and add my commentary to Tom's commentary. So yes, you're going to get a lot of commentary plus designs and thoughts. Like there's some roughs in here about, there's just roughs in here of like covers and mostly covers.
It's covers and pages. I've got pages from my issues and layouts. Finished inks and the layout, so you can compare them. And just,
I'm so excited. I love coloring. I love all that stuff, but I really do like seeing art with just the lines and that kind of stuff, because it gives me a better understanding of like how your style is solo. Yeah, there's so much going on, and you're lucky you've got a team that's all firing on all cylinders. So it's like constantly a good looking book. But I'm just so excited to see more of like the step by step for this. Now, the one big thing that we talked about last time. And I guess a lot of people have asked.
Yeah.
I've been patient. I've been a good boy. Where are the fucking ninjas? When do we get them like swinging and slashing?
There'll be some ninja action fairly soon, but not the ninjas people ask about. Not there's one ninja. I have no idea when the ninja is ever going to show up. If ever show up, I'm not even sure what we're talking about when it comes to that one ninja.
Wild.
But, you know, if you have been keeping up with Energon, you know that we did set up a lot of stuff in the Scarlet series. In the stuff with the Scarlet series, that will come back around really soon. So I think, you know, one of the things that I like about what we've built is that, and Tom's going to be drawing that part. That's what you're doing next, buddy. But you know, I like that we have done a thing where it's like, if you've been reading since Void Rivals, or been reading even just since, Transformers or Duke #1 and Cobra Commander #1, we do pay things off, and we do kind of throw the ball, downfield a little bit, but we do catch it. So it's like, that's why you can see the stuff with the DREADNOK War. There's things to tie back all the way to Cobra Commander. There's things to tie back to Duke. All these moving pieces keep moving, and you think something's done, but then it's like, oh no, it comes up again, So it's like, there's stuff that happened at the end of issue 12 that you'll see come up again. You know what I mean? It's like these things, and you can even tell with the way that we're building out the Night Force team, where it's like the fact that Flint and Lady J are out there recruiting people.
Yes.
Under Hawk's orders, but for what reason, right? Like, you're seeing these things build out. And so that's why it's like nothing was forgotten. So it's stuff that happened with Destro. Those things will play up again. And the things with Scarlet, those things will play up again. At the arc after this, after DREADNOK War, is called The Hunt for Energon. And so that's what starts in issue 19. So it's like, when 19 is The Hunt for Energon, the stuff that you'll see in that is like, okay, well, where have we established there might be Energon in the world? So it's like, you're going to see some of these pieces start coming together. Yeah, it'll be fun.
And the one final thing is that this book was built up with a ton of incredible miniseries. Mm-hmm. Are we ever going to see more, like maybe mini one-shots, spin-offs, anything like that you can mention?
Not anytime soon. We've had some conversations, but the thing is that, we really do try to keep this line as tight as possible. We try to keep it small,
that.
And it's we had this conversation maybe 2 years ago where we were like, oh, what if we did this, because the 4 minis had worked. So what if we added more stuff? And then we sort of came to this conclusion where it's like, we like the idea that if you like Energon Universe G.I. Joe, this is where you have to go for it. Like, you have one place to go. You're fighting up the audience, or then making people have to buy more books. So we're going to continue to keep the Energon Universe as tight as possible. There will be some growth at some point, but right now we're just trying to keep it tight. Like, that is something that we really make a lot of effort toward, where it's like, if you like Transformers, here it is. If you like G.I. Joe, here it is. It's like,
makes it easy.
Rivals, it's here. Like, so you'll see, like, we really try to keep it as clean as possible. So it's something that you could afford to buy every month, So that's something, we really make an effort for that.
I like that mindset.
It'd be nice to not have to read like 4 books to get the whole story.
Yes.
It's all contained in one book.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to keep it as clean as possible to do that. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for your time. I'm
so
excited to see more of this. You can find everything from Skybound right now at your local comic book shop. If you don't have a local comic book shop, go to thirdeye.com and get your comics there.
Awesome.
We will talk to you soon.
Just a big, big